I don't know. I think the yeah. Oh my god. You're Nigerian, but this is to see how much.
One time I was at the train station at like midnight. I was just playing the piano. This was pre-COVID life, so things were okay. And this white Dutch man just comes up to me and he's like, "You play really well." I was like, "Thank you." He's like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Germany." Like he said, "What's your nationality?" So I said German. And he's like, "No, where are you actually from?" I was like, "I said Germany." He's like, "No. You are not a German. You will never be a true German."
What? No! You're joking!
Shanice.
Does he think he's a villain?
Right?
Calm down.
You will never be a true German.
Shanice, no, you're joking.
I was like,
what are you trying to say?
He's like, "Where are you actually from?" I was like, "Nigeria," and then I stood up and walked away. I was like, "What the fuck is this? I'm just trying to play the piano, minding my own business." I'm Shanice with an S. I'm 19. So my parents are Nigerian and they met in Germany and I was born in Germany. And then I grew up in Ireland for the majority of my life and now I study in the Netherlands. Like if I had to place it geographically, I would say Maastricht right now is home because like you said, it's where I feel more understood here. I feel like I'm more myself here than I've ever been in my entire life here in Maastricht. And like even when I go home to Ireland, I just don't feel understood at all. Like, why am I explaining misogyny and fucking feminism to my parents? Like, I remember them not wanting me to work for Diaspora. They were like, "That's not a job for a woman. You should sit down." I don't know. I just don't feel like going there. Even talking to my friends about some kind of things, like some of them don't see the issue with like cultural appropriation, and I'm just like, guys, like wake up, open your eyes. And I just feel like here I've learned so much, and I feel more understood here. I just have my people here. So in Ireland, I had such a strong sense of community. Like, okay, yeah, it was a white town, but there were so many blacks and a lot of Nigerians in particular. Like, same schools, same primary schools, high schools. A lot of them went to uni together. I came here, lol. But we did so much together. Like, we had Ankara fests. Like during summer, we would dance, we would wear our native clothes, sing native songs. We would have Nigerian association meetings at the end of the year. Everyone would cook food and compete for the best meat pie. Even like Yoruba meetings and Igbo meetings as well. Essentially, I could say that I'm really grateful to be black. I wouldn't change it for a single thing in the world. Especially having that strong sense of black community while growing up, like especially especially growing up in such a white space, particularly in Ireland. I really needed that, and I was grateful to have that, and being able to experience our culture, our food, our music, everything. I think it was a really important part of growing up, especially in white spaces, because we were able to protect each other and be there for each other.
There's so much that I don't agree with. I don't know. And then Nigerian military, I can resonate with so much of it, but there's a lot that I don't agree with. I don't know. Like,
Do you think you have an identity crisis?
112%.
not because I don't feel like I belong anywhere. Like, I would, growing up in Ireland, like, they'd be like, where are you from? I'd be like, oh, Germany, because that's like where I came from. Yeah, and they'd be like, but does Germany have black people? Like, I don't think there are black people. Like, doesn't Germany have white people? I don't know. People are just so unfucking educated, and
I think even Germans don't believe they're black people. So it's
yeah, it's just messed.
Yeah.
And then I looked at it and I opened it just so that I blocked my white friend's guy. I know the past year, even like my friend's dad, like, one day I remember him saying, oh, Shanice, you have a nice Irish accent. Now I was thinking, oh, but like, why wouldn't I? I don't know. I was just like, why wouldn't I? I've lived here for as long as, I don't know. It's just weird. But then when I really like got in tune with the black community that I had there, I found myself like not caring anymore about like what these white people thought of me. I remember before, like, if I was walking in town with my friends and like we were laughing or something, like, we'd always be like, oh, stop laughing, like, don't be too loud, like, these white people will see us, they'll be like, oh, these black African kids, you know what I mean? But, like, up until a certain point, I don't think there were so many other issues, I stopped caring. I don't know. But now even, I don't know, Magali said something about, like, why should I always have to smile at this white woman on the street so that she just doesn't see me as a threat, you know? Like, I would walk home with my friends at night and this woman would just like cross the street. I remember one time my friend's brother was like, we're not gonna hurt you, we're not gonna do anything to you. Like, he shouted that at her because she would cross the street just to avoid us. But like, yeah, when Magali said that, I really resonated. I was like, yeah, why am I smiling? Like, why am I really trying, like, to show people I'm not a threat? Like, you know? But yeah, I'm getting over it. So. But body image issues, like, oh my god. Yeah. A lot of them. And then, as you know, this is like a big one. Like, yeah, this is the big one. Like, there are a lot of issues. Like, I don't know. Like, growing up, I don't know. Aunties and uncles would always be like, Shanice, don't take too much sugar, you have diabetes. Do you know what diabetes is? And oh my gosh. So every day they would comment on my weight, because, yeah.
What kind of things would they say?
My mom, she was the one I'm still really angry with, and I haven't really, yeah. No, I'm still really angry and bitter with him.
What would you do?
She would call me names
Like,
King Kong, Gorilla. Like, constantly policing me. Couldn't eat past 7 p.m. If me and my brother got a pizza, I was only allowed to eat half and my brother could finish his. Like, yeah. And like, not recently, I mean just coming here to the Netherlands, like, life changed drastically. Like, from this time last year, like from last year February to like now, I don't know what happened, but like, yeah, I don't know what happened. Elinice, like, you were with me for a bit of the summer. I don't know what happened, but like, I was losing weight that I couldn't see, but people would keep commenting, like people here, and they would be like, Shanice, you look great now, you look great now. So that constantly stuck in my head. So I looked horrible before, right? And like, I lost, I'd say 30 kilos between last year February and like now. And when I went home for Christmas, I was dreading it because I hadn't been home in a year and my parents hadn't seen me. And my mom, like, she would see me on FaceTime and accuse me of taking weight loss supplements and taking drugs to lose weight. And then it would just always be like, when I got home for Christmas, it was the worst. They were like, what have you done to yourself? My parents' friends would come over and be like, Shanice, you look like you've emancipated.
what's emancipated?
Look it up on Google. And go to images.
No. Okay, describe it for me really nice, please.
And just people coming into the house saying, Shanice, we're so proud of you, we're so proud of you. And just stupid things like that. My parents were like forcing me to eat. They were like, you need to eat, this is too much, this is too much. And I was like, well, I grew up with you guys calling me these names.
Yeah.
And now they're denying it. They're like, we never called you anything. We never called you anything.
They denied that?
They denied it. I was like, how can I be lying about this? And I told them one day because they were like saying like, this is anorexia, we don't want you to die, we don't want you to end up in the hospital. I was like, if I do die and end up in the hospital, it's on you guys.
You said that to them?
I did.
What did they say to that?
I can't remember. I think the call ended. But yeah, they really messed me up as a child.
Like, whenever I told him, like, some out, and then he
You're
like that. Oh, okay. Okay, because, like, those men always, like, try to talk to me, and I'm like,
I'm just sitting outside at Migo. I think they, like, work.
At the start, it was bad. Like, my first night alone in Maastricht, when I moved in 2019. Yeah. I was just walking up Grote Gracht. It was like midnight, didn't know where I was going. Google Maps on my phone, trying to get to guest house. And these men were just like coming out, like running behind me, and they were like, hey, African queen. I'm just like saying stupid shit. And it was too much.
No, actually no.
Yeah, no, that was scary. I couldn't reply then. But then during summer, something changed in me. I don't know. I would just be wearing my glasses, feeling myself, wearing whatever I wanted to wear. And like, yeah, men would be like shouting or like driving past on their like motorcycles. And I would just be like listening to music, having the main character and be like, fuck off, man. And I just keep walking. I don't know. I just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now turn around and look at the camera.
But yeah, I feel no, but like geographically, I agree with Shanice. That, like right now, Maastricht is home because I've never been like this free.
Yes, exactly. I feel so.
Like to be
I
myself.
mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, I'm me, and
100%.
like I don't have to like,
No
restrictions.
Exactly, and I love that, and I feel like
I don't worry about aunties in the streets, like
seriously,
you know.
seriously, like even when it comes like to like the facade that I put on, like when I'm with my parents, erase like here I can do whatever, and I'm like responsible enough like to know, like to be aware of like how I'm behaving and shit. So like I still like, keep myself put when I need to.
Hi, I'm Hind. I was born and raised in Italy, in Torino, but my parents and I are originally from Morocco, from Grivka, right here. And right now I live in the Netherlands, in Maastricht.
Like I have this love-hate relationship kind of, because I don't know, when I get to Morocco and like we always travel, like most of the time we travel by car, we get there, like we cross Spain, we're like on the ferry, and I'm like, Morocco in 2 hours, and I'm like, I start, like everyone on the ferry like is speaking the way I speak, so like mixing languages up, and like Moroccan and something else, but I can always understand, and there's just like this also like scent that is, like the scent of the sea, the scent of the people, I don't know. And it's very particular, and it always makes me feel like so alive. And then like we travel like to my parents' like city or village, and I start like regressing, and all that like excitement kind of goes away, because I'm like, shit, these people are gonna like start asking about money, like to my parents, or they're gonna start asking like the basic questions. So which one do you prefer, Italy or Morocco? Or they're gonna like start with their assumptions and talking about how I like more Italian than Moroccan, and it makes me feel sad because they're like taking away part of my identity, and they don't know me, so I don't like to be judged like that.
I love speaking Moroccan. It's literally my first instinct whenever I'm feeling strong emotions, whenever I feel angry, whenever I want to insult someone, when I feel happy, when I feel shook. It just has that grit to it, and it has character.
But like they never soul is gonna rock you for day after I leave. Over your eyes. And then it happened so much that I was like, you know what? Let me think about how can I.
Yeah, but I feel like even then, for instance, my permanence in Italy is not like thought of as like a thing that's gonna happen, because so many immigrants like leave at some point, or their children leave, and I'm like, I don't want that.
You don't want to leave
I mean,
Italy?
I do now, but like, when I was little, I was like, I why doesn't this place like love me as much as I love it? And like 10-15 years of just like hosted by someone, like they don't live there. Whenever I'm like so in my building, and like somebody new sees me, and I feel like then when I like remember my dad, when I just like learned how to take showers by myself. They were like, yes, you need to scrub really hard, because otherwise they're gonna say that you're ugly and smelly like a Moroccan, because that's what they really did in Italy, like early 2000s. And I have that, like, that stayed with me, like, till right now. Every time I take a shower, I'm like, I need to scrub and, like, I need to smell good because it's just, I don't want to deal with that, you know? I remember, like, I remember I was 4 years old and I was, like, running, like, after this ball, and there was like this parking lot, and this woman closed her door like right when I came, like with the from like the inside, and you can hear that stuff, you know, because it makes like, I mean, in the old cars it makes like a loud sound, like even from outside. And I felt so bad because I was like, what, I'm a kid, like what did I do? And then it just kept happening. Like I would go to the supermarket with my dad, and maybe I'm like in front of my dad, and my dad would put me between like himself and people so that people like feel safer, because there's a kid in front of me, so I can't do anything, like I'm not gonna like steal stuff from you. But then like they started, like I don't know, I started like so many times it happened that the person in front of us would be like a woman that maybe clutches her purse still. It got so bad because I was like, this is a whole like, you know, thought process that is heavy on like me and myself and how I feel about myself, like, and my identity, and I'm having it every single time I go to the grocery store. Like it was so frequent. I don't know.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're so overly aware of
yes,
presence and like
so much, like so much. And I feel like people around us don't do that at all. Like
yeah.
I don't know, I feel like culture, especially like North African culture, is like so embedded with like Muslim values, but I feel like they took the bad things or like and used them like in their favor, if that makes sense. Because like when I studied like Muslim history or like the like core Muslim values, there's a lot of feminism going on. There is a lot of like emancipation of women. There is a lot like that it talks about against like racism, this type of things that are still like very alive and well in Morocco, for instance. And it just breaks my heart because I don't know, like people that have like this whole like misconception of a religion, and whatever I do, like they're, I don't know, does that make sense?
I think
like I don't know for it, like in Italy, my friends would always like bring up the hijab and how my mom needs to like wears the hijab and I don't, and I'm like, yes, because I actually have there is a choice. Ultimately, like there is a choice. If you don't want to wear it, like man, that's on you, like that's your choice. Why are you like, don't force people. Like that's what Islam is, like believe in what you believe, and if somebody doesn't like share your belief, leave them alone. And then like terrorist episode would like happen, and I would feel like shit, now everyone is gonna question me about my God and my religion, what my God asked us to do. Never mind, like
no, I know what you mean.
Like, you know, like
yeah.
I don't know. It's so. That's why I don't like to talk, like to bring up religion, or like when somebody brings it up at a party, it's such because they want to like be philosophical, like smart.
Like you mentioned, don't because it's not the time.
Literally, this is so fucking personal. Like I will not even like nod my head while you're talking. Like nodding male gaze is literally everywhere, and everyone can observe it. And there's like more sexual ways that I'm not like consenting for, you know, not exist as a human, like go places because I feel like I like told you guys how I always feel, and that's something that I've never, like I'm aware of my body and I'm aware to that level that I'm not like consenting for, you know what I mean?
Okay, in my experience, the worst part about a culture that has normalized catcalling so much is exactly that. The fact that it's normalized, the fact that there's a lot of victim blaming, and that the only response that you get from the people that you think are your support system, and I'm talking specifically about family, is that you are the person that has to shrink more, that has to cover more, that has to be more modest, even though that's wrong. All right. I think from what I've experienced, I had to figure out really early, and also in a very lonesome way, that my body is not just my body, but it's an object that a lot of people feel entitled to, even though I don't necessarily give them consent. And I think this has been amplified in extreme ways whenever I go to Morocco, because of the widespread catcalling and of how normalized it is, and the victim blaming and the lack of support that comes, the lack of support that, you know, one may need, especially at an early age when you may not understand what modesty is, or even modesty. I really don't appreciate that in Morocco we play on that concept a lot, because I just think it's tied to this cultural politics of shame and of shrinking women to, as I said, an object. And I think it's taken a lot away from me when it came to self-esteem, body image, and just overall how I perceive myself. Because sometimes I think about how I'm perceived before I even reflect on how I feel. And I don't like that other people's opinion or gaze, and especially the male gaze, is being prioritized within me.
So it was like a Sunday evening, and I was walking to Chris's, and he lives like next to Africana, and I like crossed like this group of Moroccan men in the market, and I was like, fuck, shit, like, and I was wearing shorts, and because it was like really hot, so I was just chilling.
You don't need to explain yourself.
And I was like, yeah, I know. See, that's another thing that I'm like trying to unlearn. But anyways, like, I was like, fuck, I should either like slow down or like pass behind. But then at the end, I just kept walking, and they started like yelling at me. And they first like started yelling in Moroccan, but I didn't in Arabic, but I didn't react. Then they started like speaking in English, and I was like, fuck. Like, I wish, why am I blocked? Why can I not like just turn around and like reply? They were just like, yo, I don't know, like shake your ass, I don't know, like stuff like that. And then yeah, like in Moroccan they were like tabarakallah, which means look at what God created. I'm like, leave me alone. So I really wanted to react, because I'm like, this place is full of people. If something happens, I have like witnesses, I have people that I hope are gonna like help me, you know what I mean? But then I couldn't, and I just like kept walking, and my mood was ruined for like the rest of the evening. But then like the day afterwards, like it was morning, and I was going to my faculty, and I was right in front of my house, and these two grown men, like also Moroccan, called me, and I was like, that's it, and there was no one around, which I was like, my body just reacted and was like, I turned around and I told him like in Moroccan, like, lower your eyes, you donkey. And he was like shook it, and I like flipped him off. And then he started saying it. But anyways, it was so liberating. It was such I don't know, like an evolution inside of me. I'm like, this is it. I'm gonna start replying to anyone, even if I'm in danger. I'm not gonna like take any more of this shit.
Look at the camera.